What's up YouTube, Biz Matthew here, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be discussing the best schedule to getting your first real estate wholesale deal. So we'll be discussing what you should do in the beginning of the day, midday, afternoon, evening time, all of that jazz, just so you can have it down packed exactly how your day should look when you're trying to hustle or trying to work at getting your first real estate wholesale deal. So before we go on, you all be sure to like this video, subscribe down below, and comment down below if you have any questions, and follow me on Instagram at BizMatthew. Now, how does the perfect schedule look like for a real estate wholesaler, especially for a beginner wholesaler? Right now, I'm first going to just talk about how a schedule should look if you're not working a 9-to-5 job, and I know a lot of you all are, and so I'm going to discuss that also in this video, but I just want to first talk about how my schedule will look if I'm trying to get my first real estate wholesale deal. So I always advise everyone to start their day early. So let's say you're not working a 9-to-5 job. You can wake up around 8 a.m. like most people do to get to their 9 a.m. job, or maybe they have a longer commute and so they have to wake up a little bit earlier. But if you start your day around 8 a.m., that will prepare you for the rest of the day. So number one, we're going to do driving for dollars as our marketing technique to getting our first deal. So at 8 a.m., let's say you wake up at 7 a.m., you did your meditation or devotions, you ate breakfast, you showered and everything. Now you're starting to prep for your driving for dollars. So at 8 a.m., what I would do, I would research the best zip codes where I can find deals. And how you do that, you just find the hottest zip codes. I have a ton of videos on how to find the hottest zip codes in your areas to wholesale real estate. They're usually the places where your cash buyers are buying. And so if you use a website like PropStream, if you're interested, link down below, you can find cash sales in a specific zip code. And most likely, if there are more cash sales happening in that zip code, there are more investors there, meaning there are more growth, more flips, more rentals being done in that area, and a lot of investors are going there. So number one, do that prep. Make sure you find the hottest zip codes. Look at my tutorials on step-by-step how to find the best zip codes in your area using PropStream or just using other websites like Zillow or Redfin. All right, so on top of finding the best zip codes between 8 and 9 a.m., also you have to plan out your route. So what I like to do, I like to go to a specific zip code, go on Google Maps, kind of see the layout of the streets and kind of track where I'm going to drive before going there. It saves so much time when you're about to drive for dollars. Also, you have to kind of think about what type of houses you're looking for. If you know this area is a lower class area, then maybe your criteria might be way much lower. Like you're looking for those abandoned houses, those boarded up houses, but in a A-class neighborhood, you may or may not come across those type of houses. But maybe in those A-class neighborhoods, you may find houses that have overgrown grass, or maybe the gutter's not cleared, or maybe there's a bunch of mail in the mailbox, other things like that where it's not just completely boarded up. So between 8 and 9 a.m., I want you all to pick a zip code, plan out your routes, and think about the type of houses you're going to be looking for to drive for dollars, to put into your driving for dollars list. All right, so now we're out. So from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., drive for dollars. And I like this time because usually all the kids are already at school, people are already at work, the roads are usually more calm, there's not so much people in neighborhoods, so they won't be scared or freaky that this cars keep on passing around them. There may be more and more people working at home, but I think it's just a really calm time. There's not a lot of cars on the road. So between 9 and 12 p.m., you just go hard, drive for dollars. And what you can use a website or an app like Deal Machine. You can check the link down below, but Deal Machine allows you to just drive by properties and you can just click it. The app, I have a bunch of tutorials on how to use it, so you can just go on my channel and search Deal Machine or driving for dollars and you'll find tutorials on how to use that app. If you don't have that in your budget, you can also use Google Maps. Just like when you're near a house that you want to put down because you see its levels of distress, you can just look on Google Maps, look up the address and save it to your Google Maps folder. You can create a custom Google Maps folder. I have a tutorial on how to do that also on my channel. So just look up Google Maps or driving for dollars on my channel. But yeah, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., before lunch, there's not a lot of cars, you can drive for dollars. All right, so let's say you take an hour or an hour and a half break. I like the times between 1 and 3 p.m. to get your list together. So after you drive for dollars, after you've taken a little break to eat or to just relax, you download that list that you did for driving for dollars and you skip trace it, because sometimes skip tracing services may take a little bit longer to load, but I like to use PropStream, and so you can check the link down below to skip trace. You know, it may take a few hours or a few minutes to skip trace a list, and so you have to make sure you're able to have it ready today or that day to call that list later. So make sure you download the list and skip trace it. All right, so from 3 to 5 p.m., what I want you all to do, because I know downloading the list and skip tracing it may not take a long time, but later in the afternoon, I want you all to do your follow-up call, right? Do your follow-up calls from the previous day or the previous week that you need to follow up with, because follow-up is key. The most of the amount of money that you're going to make in this business will come from follow-up. So use this time wisely to make sure you first call the people who are most motivated, people that you may have to check up every month or two, and just use that time to call them back. All right, from 6 to 8 p.m., I want you to cold call that original list, that list that you got today driving for dollars. And of course, I mentioned this before, but I like the time 6 to 8 p.m. because people are at home, they're not at work, they're not busy, they're usually relaxing, they're just finishing up dinner, they're not still driving back home usually because it's an hour past 5 p.m. And so from 6 to 8 p.m., make sure you cold call that list. And I have tutorials on how to cold call, or I just show myself cold calling. If you need like a partner or a buddy for encouragement, you know, you can just click one of my videos, and while I'm cold calling for an hour, you can just cold call too if you need that encouraging aspect of it. And so when you're cold calling this list, driving for dollars, you don't have to mention that you drove by their properties and you saw that their property needed help or needed work. You just cold call like you would cold call any other list. You introduce yourself, you say if they might be interested in selling, and you ask about the condition of the property and why they may be interested in selling. All right, so that's essentially how you would schedule your day. I think that's the very best schedule to getting your first wholesale deal in this real estate game. Now, let's say you are working a 9-to-5 job. What can you do? So working a 9-to-5 job can be a little bit more difficult, but you can still accomplish it. So I would still do driving for dollars, but what I would do, obviously, I would drive for dollars early in the morning, you know, when the sun is still kind of visible, because the sun, you can start seeing light around 6 a.m. And so if you have the time from like 6 a.m. to 8 a.m., drive for dollars. Or if you prefer to do it right after work, let's say you're just driving back home anyways, you're passing houses, so you might as well just go to a neighborhood, go to a specific zip code and drive around for dollars, and use the Deal Machine app or use Google Maps in order to save the properties. And you do that after work. Another time to drive for dollars is obviously during the weekend. So let's say Sunday is your day to drive for dollars. You can drive for dollars like 6-7 hours if you want to do something like that, but sometimes that can be a little bit too much. You can keep it down to like 3 hours or 1 or 2 hours, whatever works for you during the weekend, since you work during the week. And then you can do that whole same schedule on a weekend. So like on Sunday, you don't necessarily have to wait so long to cold call them, because most people are at home anyways during the weekend. So you can cold call them as early as 12 noontime during that day. But make sure you all, you know, understand that people may be doing family activities during that time also. And so if during the week, let's say you drive for dollars for the evening and it's just too late for you to cold call, the next day you can dedicate that day for cold calling that driving for dollars list. So as I mentioned about the perfect schedule, if you're not working a 9-to-5 job, you can drive for dollars and cold call that same day. But if you are working a 9-to-5 job, you can just drive for dollars on Monday, cold call that list on Tuesday, drive for dollars on Wednesday, cold call that list on Thursday. And you just repeat it that way if you have a full-time job or some type of busyness or activity during the day. So I hope you all really enjoyed this video on the best schedule for wholesale real estate to getting your first wholesale deal. If you all have any other questions, please comment down below and let me know. All right, I'll talk to you all later. Peace.